So JR and I have been having this like massive
big
debate
Yeah.
about Dutch. And I think we actually agree. But the biggest thing for me is that I feel like Dutch is the kind of character where it's really his ego driving him.
Yeah.
So he's, he believes in himself. And anytime like Arthur brings up something very valid and says, we shouldn't have done that heist, or we shouldn't do this, or why did you kill that poor woman who just led us through the tunnel? She was helping us out. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Every time he tries to confront Dutch, the problem is he has to confront his own ego, and that becomes like the biggest obstacle for him, and that turns him into the villain because he's essentially like too afraid to confront the fact that like maybe other people doubt him at all.
That's the thing for me, is that I don't think by the end of the game,
This is our debate.
Dutch isn't really a villain. He's just kind of this beleaguered dude who sees all of this bad shit happening around him, and he's just like,
refresh my memory. Doesn't he murder his girlfriend basically in cold blood, or was that Mike?
No, that's Mrs. Grimshaw. That's
Mrs.
Susan.
Grimshaw, which like deserved, but
But like also totally not though.
No, because she wasn't actually the mole.
She's not
she
a
didn't
rat.
actually
She
do anything.
wasn't,
She only talked to them.
No,
we
she
find
did
out
though,
later.
didn't she?
No, we
No.
learned,
We
the
learned later.
Pinkertons tell us at one of the very last
That it's
missions that
Micah.
Molly never talked.
Yeah, she didn't give him up.
So
She didn't do
hard.
it. It was
I missed
all
that
Micah.
detail.
She
so-
came
I
in-
thought she also ratted the group
She
out.
came in and told everyone that because she was so desperate for Dutch's attention. Like
That's just dumb.
I thought about that. Like every time she tried to talk to you, Arthur and everyone else would just cast her to the side and not say
Right.
anything. And I was thinking, this is going to come back to bite all of you.
Yeah.
You're just ignoring this poor woman.
The very
All
first
she wants
time,
is attention.
she's
was
like,
so
"Hey,
cold when
Arthur,
that
have you
happened."
seen Dutch around?" I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be a problem."
Yeah.
But so like my real issue with the Dutch arc is that we sort of see him as a man like, yes, he's totally like puts his escape, his needs, his desire to put and like get out of the situation that he's in ahead of the rest of the group, and that is a shitty thing to do. But like what I don't see is the arc between okay, so in the first Red Dead, I know you haven't played this, but in the end of the first Red Dead, there's this mission where it's the first time that John and Dutch are face to face for the first time after ostensibly years after that moment that comes at the end of the second epilogue.
Yep.
And they have their little repartee, and then Dutch is about to escape, couldn't get away, like almost scot-free, and decides, oh, you can see it on the screen right here if you're watching the video version.
He has a hostage.
He has a hostage, and then
cornered.
to get out of the situation, he's almost about to get out the door. He is out the door. He can be totally fine if he just walks out the door right now, but instead he murders this woman for no reason other than to say, fuck you, John Marston.
And he does have moments where he does that. Like
He doesn't, though.
where he no he has moments where he just pulls the trigger because he wants to one up somebody.
Not in 2, I don't think. I don't think
he
you
murders
see
that old lady.
But
when they're on
there's
the
a
phone.
difference.
There's no
between-
reason for
but
that.
there is a difference between I'm paranoid, so I'm going to kill this person because I think they'll squeal on me, versus I'm just going to kill this person for sport.
What about Angelo Bronte?
He like that.
He killed
was,
that person because he challenged him.
True.
Angelo Bronte was like, "Oh, I get it. We're of the same ilk in the sense that you have a way with words, and you're actually just manipulating every
It's
moment."
the same thing with Cornwall, Leviticus Cornwall. He just shot
Cornwall
that guy.
is the
Yep.
only one that I think of that I think I really agree.
I think it
Angelo
was
Bronte
Angelo
was
Bronte.
revenge.
And
They
also-
kidnapped
Like-
the child. And,
yeah, but I mean, like he like had with the Braithwaite woman, he like burned their entire plantation down, killed all her sons. So I think like we pretty much balanced it out.
We see-
Angelo
we see
Bronte
him having a
bruised
brutal
his
side,
ego.
but
Yeah,
like,
that's what it was.
Dutch,
It bruised his ego.
Dutch is
It
Angelo
had
Bronte
nothing to
set
do
him
with
up to
Jack.
die.
It had everything to do with, yes,
With
sort of. I think it
Dutch.
was because he was insulted because the guy was like, "Oh, you look dirty. You should clean up for the party," and
But
he just didn't like that insult.
But Angelo Bronte set them on that mission to go rob the
Right.
thing
Yeah,
that
he
had
set them
nothing
up.
in it.
Yeah.
And his plan was for them to die, but they didn't.
So that's-
it was a revenge story.
That's my thing. Is that
In
like,
my mind.
for all of those kills, which are admittedly like really brutal, and where you see that psychopathic part of Dutch, for every one of those, you also see a moment where he is beleaguered and regretting what he has to do and sad, and it feels like they're
Do you,
trying
or
to
is
make
that
me
talk?
sympathize. I don't think it is. I think based on the very end, when depending on what ending you got. When Arthur is either like lying there, be like all tuberculosis-y, or he's sitting there with knives in his ribs. There's a bunch of endings that are super fun. We'll get to that in a second. But
he dies. That's the end.
while Arthur's lying there dying, Dutch has this genuine really bummed out look about him, and it's like those moments I feel are genuine for him.
That's how you read his facial expression in that moment.
Yeah, I don't think it was like evil or malice or anything. I think it was just conceit. I think it was he's giving up.
I think so too, but I think it was also just wrapped up in this idea of like he felt his own failure. And so it wasn't even about, oh, Lenny died and Hosea died and everyone else died and the whole camp that depended on me at one point in time is going to be struggling forward now because of the decisions I made. It's more about I failed. I'm not as hot shit that I thought I was.
Yeah.
Which I think, I would say is pretty evil.
Yeah. Well, I think down to the core, he's just a manipulative narcissist.
100%.
He is incredibly charismatic, and he only does that because he needs other people to see him the way that he sees himself. And when anyone ever challenges that, it bruises his ego, and he punishes that person for doing it.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, check out some of our other videos on IGN.com and our YouTube channel. For more news, tips, and videos on your favorite games and entertainment, keep it here at IGN.